Welcome back, guys. Well, today I'm here literally bugging out at the cabin. Some crazy times out there in the world, so I'm just here for a little peace and quiet for a few days. And let me tell you, the bugs are really bad. This is how bad the flies are, killing them all. Look at it, full of blood. Isn't that disgusting? Must have come in on me or the dog, and they're all in this window, all the way up at the top. Ugh. I hate this time of year for the bugs. They're revolting. I gotta go clean this window now. I'll just show you guys my face right now. Look at all in here, all my ears, on my eye. I went out this morning to take the dog out to the bathroom, and it was cool. I thought, oh, bugs won't be out just yet. Well, yes, I was wrong. I'm covered, and I take an antihistamine so my face doesn't swell. But I can already feel like my eyeball itself, like inside, like all the tissue's getting puffy. So I don't know, guys. By the end of this vlog, my face might be super swollen. My new strategy now is to hit them with the Windex, and it kills them right out. I just realized there's a gap in the front door. They're coming in on the dog, but if you look up here, there's a gap right here. I need to put more trim or something. The screen itself is okay. The screen itself is okay, but right up here there's a gap, so the door's gonna stay shut. As you guys can see, the forest is just beautiful. Its leaves are out, birds are singing. When I got here, I'll just show you. See this area right here where there's a lot of mud? That bird nest was right there. Couldn't even get the door open. So there's no eggs in it yet, but it's a beautiful nest. Let's take a look inside there. Not really sure what kind of bird nest that is, but something is really enjoying their little stay here. I don't know if it's a sham nest or an actual nest that they plan on using, but I just moved it over so when I head home that the birds might use it again. If you look up here, I have another nesting cavity up there. It's flush against the cabin, and something's using that as well. It's a good spot. It's sheltered from the wind and the rain, and there's lots of sticks sticking out of it, so I think maybe a phoebe or something else is in there. Right here's my rhubarb. It's doing really well. I have to protect it because the little woodland critters like to eat it. Basically look like it's ready to harvest there. Beautiful, beautiful and red. Make some pie or something. Yummy. I'm headed out in the field next. I'm going to go look for some asparagus, some fresh spring asparagus. Years ago, I found a few plants in the field, and I've been able to enjoy them over the past few years. So let's go check it out. Coming up on my first asparagus. Oh my gosh, it's already gotten huge. Oh man, did I miss it again? Holy moly. Let's take a look. Ah, I'm late. Holy moly, look at that. They're huge stalks. Well, I've got a few other spots, but yeah, this has shot up, and like, literally this was not like this 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I guess I better pay better attention for next year. Just want to show you my choke cherry. Every single choke cherry in the field has so many blooms on it this year. It's going to be a great year for choke cherry. Remember I made a choke cherry liqueur one year? I think I'll have to do that again. Now I just have to beat the birds to them. And this is my wild gooseberry bush. It's also going to have a fair bit of berries on them. This one has a lot of spiky fruit on it. You can eat them, but you don't want to eat them all spiky, so you have to kind of crush them and get the juice or cook them. If you take a look at the field, you can see in the last cabin video, I planted a lot of trees, and this is one of the jack pines. Look, it's already got a couple inches of growth on there, so that's a really good sign. What you want to do is actually take away some of this grass around there so the grass doesn't compete with the new seedling. So it's going to be one of my jobs for the day. Don't know about you, but my favorite spring shrub is a lilac. Do you know that the flowers of these are edible? Got several of them here on the property. I think they're so cool. So I'm really happy that many of them are in bloom right now. We've had a lot of rain over the last little while, and the barrel is full. So I just put a bit of bleach in the barrel there to shock it for the season. This is water we don't drink out of. It's just more for showering and washing hands and such. And of course, behind me, it is attached to the shower house. So let me tell you, during bug season, it's awesome to go to the bathroom and have a shower in an enclosed building. Because, I mean, the bugs are horrendous, and you want to be quick, obviously, if you're outside with this. And you certainly don't want to be having a shower out here in this buggy time of year. So the shower house is an absolute must. If you're looking for adding an additional building to your property, I highly recommend an enclosed shower house or outhouse. Lots of wild edibles here in the field. There's some white spruce, the spruce tips. Very tasty. You can make spruce tip sugar, beer, I don't know, cupcakes, cookies, whatever you want. I mix these in salad too. They have a really lemony taste, a bit of an astringent quality. So good, and really high in vitamin C. Birds are going crazy. I see a broadwing hawk flying through the field there. Blue jays were just going nuts a second ago. I keep waiting for the eagle to come back. I can't wait. Got my camera with me at all times because literally it was just above here that it flew by the last time. They like to hunt in nearby lakes and rivers. Field's looking pretty darn good if I do say so myself. Look at all those choke cherries. I'm going to take the lawn tractor today and just do a little path through some of the grasses so I can kind of take the dog for a walk in here. Ooh, those black flies. Take a look at the choke cherry in between these pines. Holy moly. This is probably the best the choke cherry crop has been since, I don't know, about 3 years. So they're back on track. So I'm going to have a busy late summer picking the choke cherries. And it looks like my weeping willow has survived. I've got several of these in. That was that huge bare root stalk that I got last year, and a lot of it died back because of the heat, and they have to survive on their own out here. I'm not out here watering them all the time. So look at that. Beautiful. This will be a beautiful tree to have here. A great space for wildlife to enjoy and nest and hide in. So I'm pretty excited. Here's one here that died right back. You can see all that growth. It just didn't take, but here's right here. It's come back, and down here. So not a complete loss. I mean, you always expect to lose some trees, and you know, because they do fend for themselves out here. I don't take care of them. So it's encouraging to see there's some new growth. Looks like there's a deer over there. I startled. You can't see it now. A big white tail went up and jumping around up in there. The deer are out of their yards. That's mainly what I'm getting on my trail cams right now is deer. It's good to see them back. They'll have some fawns pretty soon if they're not already hitting the ground. I missed this asparagus, I think, by a week, but take a look at that. See, that's what you see when you see asparagus. I'll have to take a look and see if there's any other little growth down underneath here. Not really. But darn, always late with this. Well, really good just eating the tops of it now. Love asparagus. Here's my maple from last year. Got really hit by the tent caterpillars, but many of them survived, so I'm really happy about that. Well, that little tour around the field was fun, taking a look at everything. Now, pray for me. I gotta go and do some grass cutting. Gotta gas up the lawnmower and make some trails again. Nasty. That was lots of work. This is just a fraction of what I've done. I've been on the tractor now for about an hour and a half, making trails. Also made a couple of campsites up there, so when I have people over, eventually, I'll have a couple of spots for people to put their tent. So really cool. I made a lot of trails here through the field, so have lots of cool stuff to explore. Just getting ready to make some lunch and got some pea meal bacon on the go. Gonna make some sandwiches. I'm excited. Take a look at that, my pea meal bacon sandwich with some Tostitos and a nice view. Yum. And there he is, the man of the hour. He's doing a little frisbee after lunch. It's a lot bigger than when he was here the last time. Much more confident too. Good boy. Oh, bring it here. Say hello to your fans. Say hello to your fans. Hey. Ugh, look at my face. Totally starting to swell. Anyway, ugh. Well, next I gotta prepare the garden. I've got some beans and potatoes, so I want to pop those in. But Mr. Royce here, oh God, he likes eating turkey poo, so I have to be on the alert. He's been finding the turkey poo in the field and rolling in it and eating it, so that's amazing. Anyway, so I gotta work on that. And I also did a little bit more mowing over here. I'll just show you. Mowed around my jack pine there, so you can see, just to beat the grass back a bit so there's less competition, especially for the younger ones that I have over there. I can't believe that. Look at these. These are huge now. They just, once they really get that taproot in, boy, do they ever go. There's the old shower over there that I'm not missing with all these bugs. Hey, and the fire pit. Well, the fire ban is off here in Ontario. At least here it is, and so we can have fires again, like campfires mainly, but forest fire season has begun. There's a bunch of forest fires here in Ontario, so just got to be really safe, and if you're out camping, just make sure to put your fire out. Don't have a lot of resources right now to be putting out all these bush fires, the whole COVID situation, but yeah, maybe we'll have some hot dogs tonight by the fire. How to take your dog for a walk. Well, I think he had lots of fun there. It's one way of taking him for a walk. Just I wanted to show him the trails and kind of the boundaries of the property there. So I kind of cut a few trails just so we can go walking. And I mean, the grasses here get really, really tall. This is an old farm field, so over as the season kind of goes on, it gets a little tricky to walk, especially for a little man like that. I know he's growing like crazy. Just look how big he is, eh? I think he's like tripled in size since you guys last saw him at the cabin. He's growing like crazy. He's 26 pounds right now. He's 13 weeks old. So he's right on track to be a big guy. Very strong and powerful. We go hiking pretty much every day, just to his tolerance, you know, just on flat terrain in the forest, on logging roads and stuff like that. So, you know what, I've seen his confidence come up hugely. When I first got him, he was a bit shy and uncertain of himself, so I wanted to quickly bring up his confidence level. So we did a lot of hikes in the woods, and he's really turning into an excellent dog. Everything I could have asked for, really. Of course, now he's getting a little bit of independent thought, and so he's sort of, you know, sniffs things and kind of, he's more comfortable kind of, you know, going a bit away from me, but not too far. He doesn't go too far, which is good. And he has got good recall, you know. Majority of the time when he's off doing something on his own, if I call him back or even just make like a really dramatic noise to get him to come back, he rushes back to see me. So, and that's like the breed too. Like they're kind of a dog that, you know, their property and their people are really important to them. So, you know, they do come back. They don't tend to wander like some other kinds of dogs. So, anyways, it's really nice to see how he's growing up. So here's one of my little gardens here. This is normally where I do my winter wheat. It's not doing anything this year, so I'm going to put something in here. I don't know if I should put my potatoes in here or put in something else. It's a pretty bright location. It tends to dry out, so I need something that's pretty tolerant. I've got some heirloom bush beans. Might be a good option in here, although I remember I tried that last year and they didn't grow very tall. I have another garden close up to the cabin, so maybe I'll put one there, or the other option is I have one in the field over there, my old garden. Weather's really breaking here. It was in the 30 degrees Celsius range, and now it's dipping down to, you know, 13 to 16 degrees Celsius, so lots of weather coming in. It's been kind of raining off and on, so I've just been hanging out mostly in the cabin in between working on the garden and cutting grass. Also the bugs. Yeah, all of a sudden a wind is coming up and I can just feel the temperature cooling off, so I think we better get back in the cabin. It looks like it's gonna rain. Here's my old garden. What a mess. This is going to be a lot of work to fix. You guys remember this? I did some potatoes in here many, many moons ago. Well, the field's taken over, so I got to fix that at some point. Well, it is pitch dark outside. Well, not pitch dark, but it got really dark really fast. I actually rushed him back into the cabin because I thought we were in for a major thunderstorm, but they might be actually going around us, so I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit until I see what happens. So as you can see, the water situation has changed a little bit. This pump right here started leaking again around here, so I need another solution. So guys, let me know if there's any manual pumps that you prefer for your cabins. That one we've had twice and it's broken twice, so I don't like it. So right now I just got the water container with the pump. You just kind of pump that there and it comes out the spout. So yeah, got to figure out something different here. I'm not pleased. As you know, the way it works is the water goes into a bucket under here, and this actually has a tube that goes into one of these or into my little blue water cube, and then you just sort of manually pump it. But something happens inside here, it cracks and breaks and leaks all under here, so I'm really not happy with that product. Really dark outside now. I'm just gonna have some coffee and wait for this to blow over. Almost felt like we were gonna get hit with some kind of really nasty windstorm, almost tornado-y, but just poured rain out there a few seconds ago, so I think it's blowing around us not too bad. I'm just gonna have a nice little break here. Well, Mr. Man, I think he's whining for supper, and I'm holding out. I'm holding strong. It's not for another half an hour. So anyway, but I don't know, have you guys ever lived through a tornado? I can't imagine living through one here at the cabin. We had a close call a few years ago here. There were some downspouts nearby. I don't know if it was like 3 years ago or something like that. But never lived through a tornado here, thankfully. Where is he? Shh. So, anyway, if you guys lived through a tornado, let me know down below in the comments. Forgot if I showed you guys last time, but that cluster of basswood there, that central one was really rotten. So got lots of good firewood here. Now basswood, you know, burns pretty quickly, but chop that down in good order. Certainly wouldn't want that to fall down and strike the cabin. That would be really, really bad. So better on the ground than standing dead. Back at the garden, and I've torn it up a little bit. Let's use this over here to do that. So now I'm going to put in some potatoes. So here we go. Here's a 5-pound bag of seed potatoes. So that's what they look like. So I'm just going to pop these little guys in the ground. As I was digging up the soil there, I actually found a couple potatoes from last year. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, got a good bit of them there. So just got to put them about a foot apart down the rows. And the rows will be about 3 feet apart. And eventually they'll grow up, and then you put a bit more soil on top to kind of mound them once they start emerging and get about 4 inches tall. Well, the little garden plot has been planted. It's full of potatoes, so pretty excited. Our soil here is pretty good for that. Done potatoes here for many years. Nice and loamy, easily drained, full sunshine eventually. So they get really happy here. Just want to show you, I also planted an elderberry. That's a native species of berry, and you guys know elderberry extract is good for, you know, flus and stuff like that. You can't eat the berries raw, but you can process them to make food or medicinal. So this is a little tiny one right now. I've got it protected from the rabbits and such with this caging here. I've got flags so I don't hit it with a lawnmower. Here's my other garden that's like 1,000,000 years old. I've got a bunch of green onions coming up, and got some of these West Coast Seeds bush beans, so they don't need to be really staked. It's an heirloom bean. Kind of a really cool color as well. So I'm going to put in a little bit of these in here too. Well, it's another beautiful morning here at the cabin. Winds died down. The weather seems to have improved. Definitely the sun's come out. Partly cloudy skies today. A lot cooler ever since that front came in. It's about 6 degrees this morning, and it's going to go up to about 13. Just tidying up a bit of the trees by the cabin. So taking down some of the little saplings of aspen in here. Aspens are actually a clone, so you get one tree and they're all basically genetically related. So this little aspen grove up here before the pines, it's getting pretty thick, so I'm going to thin that out a little bit and maybe trim some of the branches so we can have a nice little forest to walk through. So the scythe is really handy for that. It's old school, but it works. So I've made a lot of trails through this forestry area. You can see going through here. It's a really nice way to enjoy the property here with some little trails. Got lots of good stuff in here. Let's go over and take a look at the willows that I was chatting about earlier. It takes a while to get through here, but they're over here. Here's one. This one didn't do too badly. You can see it's coming up. I'm cut off some of them right there, but so you can see things get pretty thick in here. So we're constantly trying to clear it out a little bit. This is one of the willows right here that didn't do as well. You can see this whole top of the growth is dead, but down here is okay. So that's all right. So yeah, there's like way too many little trees in here. So these are going to get kind of cut down. So you go back through here. I've done some previous work. You can see how big the ones are back here. Going to cut down some of these little guys right here. But you want to kind of have a nice clear path. They have nice crowns, you know. You leave some younger ones, some older ones. But there's some older ones right there. Just going to tidy those up a bit today. Going to harvest some spruce tips today. Lots of spruces, white spruce. Spruce tips, you know, you can make a nice syrup, beer, pop them in salads. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of this today. We got a lot here in the field. Here's one of the high bush cranberries that I got many years ago, and it's doing very well. So I don't know, I think it's several years before they actually produce berries, but I'm getting there. I must say I'm enjoying the cooler temperatures working this morning. It's really nice, especially because the bugs aren't out. Take a look at my eyes. They're so swollen from yesterday's black fly bites. I had to put some tea bags on them this morning to take the swelling down. I could barely open my eyes. So it's getting better, but hopefully it stays cool enough today. The bugs are not very bad. Doing that work in the field, it's time to make some breakfast. That looks good. Well, there's my completed breakfast. There's my completed breakfast with bacon and hummus and pepper and blueberries and egg and coffee, of course. So filled with protein and lots of good vitamins, and there's some salsa on top. This little dude was pretty good. He slept in till 5:30. He's sleeping through the nights right now. So that's very good. Get me more sleep. So now we've had a good hike and just romp around the property, and now he's gonna have a bit of a rest. Just want to show you the spruce tips I collected today. I think I'll take those and ferment them. There's a little dude himself. Yeah, I've never tried fermenting spruce tips before, but I don't think it's that hard. I might do the lacto fermentation on them and see what they taste like. Leave it alone. Everything's going in his mouth these days. Let go. Let go. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Everything sticks to his fur and he brings it into the cabin. I've been never doing so much cleaning at the cabin since I've had him. He likes to play chase when he gets something he shouldn't. Royce, what do you have in your mouth? Is that everything in its mouth these days? Of course, he thinks it's a game. Still working on the shower house right now, and this is where the pump is going to, how it's going to be installed. You see this little tiny box, looks like a birdhouse. That's going to be the pump to bring in water into the shower and the sink in the shower house just over here. So here we got the barrel. It's full of water. I've just put a bit of bleach in there to kind of kill off the algae. There's the tube there coming up from the sink and the shower. It's going to be piped through all the piping in there. And then of course we get rainwater. So that's what fills the barrel. It's just like that. So the pump is going to sit right up in here. The electrical is going to come out, and then there'll be the tube going to the pump, and then the tube into the barrel. So here we go. There's the bathroom and the shower itself. So nice to be indoors. The bugs are out that way. And this stack right here actually has a fan in it powered by solar, so that it vents out this shower house room. Just at a frame here, you can see the sink. Got a lot of stuff in here. There's where the electrical is going to go in, and that's the bank there that controls the solar panels. And of course, this is a solar powered light that kind of goes on. It's been disconnected right now, but yeah. And then the shower stall, it's just a single stall shower, but makes all the difference in the world to have a fresh shower out here, and definitely to be out of the bugs. Well, great news. I've been looking for mushrooms this whole time I've been up here, and found a few dryad saddle. So these are pheasant-back mushrooms. I usually find them here on hardwood, like ironwood, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. I pickle these, and because I don't really enjoy them so much in stir fries. The smell, it smells like watermelon rind, but sometimes it has a kind of a plasticky character to me, so I really enjoy them pickled. So what I do is I put some vinegar, a little bit of oil, pan fry the onions and scallions and jalapenos, put a bit of dill in with the vinegar and a smidgen of oil, and yeah, really, really good, nice and spicy. So I'm pretty happy about these. I've still yet to find some morels this season. It's a little bit earlier here. Probably this week should be some morels, so we'll have to check that out. I just also checked out my little oyster mushroom nursery, and I can definitely see a few of them starting to grow on the tree. So I think those will be a couple more weeks. It's pretty early for them, and those I find on aspens. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Take care.